Welcome to week 12 and 13. All right, let's take a look at this. If we go into the overview video you're watching right now will be here momentarily. Right now we still have pre-production, but production will be here in a moment. And we go into the folder. Let's take a look at this. There are 3 things to work on this week. First, you are in class collaborating, communicating with your team, and problem solving to get stuff done. And you're also going to be building evidence in your presentation for your team, and that will be for the film class, for game design, and in School of Rock, you're either doing it solo or with a team, and I'll explain that in a moment. And then the production section of your blog post is due as well. Pre-production was due last week, and production is due this week. Let's take a closer look at this. So let's go in here. And so post-production work, you're collaborating, communicating, problem solving. Essentially, this has not changed. It's each week that you're working with your team, doing burn down charts, looking at Trello, setting tasks each day, supporting each other, etc. Nothing new there. Okay, building the slideshow. The template folder has the template for the slideshow. It's the same as last month. So you go in, so your class period, we're in session 2. Okay, I'll put that in there, yay. And your team number. And if you're in School of Rock, your team is what I've grouped you in based on over here in column E, okay? Bass, drums, guitar, songwriting, music theory, and so on and so forth. So you're going to be grouped into these groups for your presentation, okay? So that is what I'm asking you to do there. And so you're putting your evidence in the slideshow and linking the slideshow over in the project tracking sheet. The slideshow will be linked over here, okay? And you'll get that done by the 29th. All right, so let's click there. So that's the slideshow evidence. And then lastly, updating the blog post that you created a few weeks ago. You add to the blog post. You're not creating a whole new blog post. You are now going to add in the production section. So this is what you copy and pasted. It's called session 2. And we write the summary last, but you can write your role here. You can write your SMART goal here. The summary is going to go right under here, and it'll be the last thing we write. It'll be just a few sentences. Pre-production was due last week. Each one of these 4 sections, you just click here and hit enter or return and type out your content underneath each one of these. That was due last week. If you did not finish that, go in and finish it now. The production section is just these 2 components. The final product will be pasted here. So if it's a film, upload it to your Google Drive, put the link here so we can watch it. Skills commentary, we're going to talk about that as well. Let's look at an example of that. So here's Brad's blog. And in film class, let me zoom in here a little bit. You can see his summary, what role he took on, his goal, and then right here you can see what he did for pre-production. For those people who have not seen an example of what this should look like, this is what it should look like, okay? Training sources. He took notes on the training source, which is really awesome. Project timeline, very detailed. Our first projects, you're not putting this much detail in, but you want to put some steps in there. And then here is production. Now, YouTube has ripped out student work from last year, so you won't see it here, but this is where you would put the link to your itch page if you're in game design, or film if you're in the film class. And for School of Rock, export out a sound file, put it in your Google Drive, and link that here as well. And make sure it's public so we can actually hear it. And yeah. Skills commentary. So right here, this is where in the thing you put here, what are we listening to, seeing that's going to show the evidence of what you were working on for this month? And that's directly related to your goal. When I say your goal, I mean your goal. Okay? What was your goal? And where's the evidence that you achieved your goal? So I'm scrolling back down here, and I'm scrolling. Here we go. Yeah. Where? Okay. And then right here it says the following cannot be shown in the video. So in the presentation, Brad had also put information to show that Brad had achieved his goal. And so the slideshow is always the place that you put your evidence, and that's what we measure. But the evidence ties into the creative thing you've made. So hopefully that makes sense. So skills commentary. This is where you're writing stuff down to make sure it's absolutely clear that we know what you were trying to achieve. If you did not achieve it, that's still okay. But where was your attempt to? And that's what the production section is, okay? So just right here, these 2 components, very crucial. This is where your grade for the whole project resides around for the last month or so. Okay? Next week we'll do post-production stuff after we share with class and whatnot. All right, that is it. Have a great week.